What's up, guys? It's Flash back here with some more charts and another video. Today we're going to go through Bitcoin, some other cryptos, and some Bitcoin miners. Super interesting. Today's February 22nd, 2024. We saw Nvidia earnings come out last night and they beat earnings. So gapped up higher today. I consider Bitcoin to be tied to the broader market. S&P, NASDAQ, Nvidia seems to be holding up the broader market today. I know maybe not a super popular opinion, but there really is no denying the correlation in terms of how the assets trade together. I get that Bitcoin has some other benefits, but just interesting to see how they trade against each other. And so starting out with Bitcoin, have the chart up. Really interesting that there's this trend line that was broken and now it's into some sort of channel, some sort of flag. Whether it's a bear flag or not, I'm not sure. But I also have this arc that, don't hate me for it, but I am a fan of the arcs, the domes. I would love to see Bitcoin break out of this, but I think this is just something to be aware of. I wouldn't rule it out. Markets in general look like they've had their run. Like I say, I think we're closer to a top than we are a bottom in terms of the general market. So again, wouldn't rule this out, but good to just kind of be in the know here. But it looks like it's breaking. It's at the top of this channel. It just needs to clear like 60K and we're off and running. So over to Ethereum. Kind of similar picture here. Nothing crazy. Again, this is on the monthly time frame, higher time frame stuff, but good to kind of keep the bigger picture in mind and have some clarity. At least that helps for me. But looks pretty healthy. If we want to throw a moving average on it, yep, just above the 3-year moving average and kind of breaking out of the Ichimoku cloud right here. So looks healthy. Looks like we could be in for another run. That's what Ethereum looks like. So I wouldn't be surprised if Bitcoin breaks out with it. But gotta wait for this month to close, and yeah, that'll give us some more confidence. If we go back to Bitcoin actually real quick and pull up some of the indicators here, Bitcoin versus the S&P 500, looks like it's charging. It's got to break through a little bit, a couple more resistances here before it really is in the clear, but looks pretty good. And then Bitcoin versus gold. Again, broke down from this trend line, whether it's a valid trend line or not, I think it is. So I don't know, it's interesting to see that this breaks down and kind of just losing momentum, starting to put in another trend line here. So interesting to keep an eye on. But let's go to Sol. I know that's another popular crypto these days. Again, looks pretty healthy. Huge run here from 23 bucks all the way up to 105. Some monthly resistance in here, definitely at the top here at 222, but looks to be in this ascending triangle. It's a good resistance to clear, all-time highs, but need a couple more touch points to prove that it is an ascending triangle, but looks pretty good, not gonna lie. Now over to, we got 5 Bitcoin miners here. Mara, again, monthly time frame, bigger picture stuff. It has some resistances to clear, I'm going to be honest. It's kind of breaking above the 3-year moving average, which is good. It's a positive. If we throw the cloud on there, very thin cloud right here, so it might be easier to break through, but it is worth noting that it does have to break through this cloud, obviously. But there is a nice little shoulder going on here, so definitely something to keep in mind. If we want to throw maybe a little target for fun on here, we could. That's crazy, but I don't know. If Bitcoin breaks out, I would think Mara and some of the miners will go with it. Now to MicroStrategy, weird chart. But obviously, Michael Saylor got into Bitcoin. Looks like around here, July 2020 or so, and yeah, weird chart above its moving average. See, it's kind of battling this cloud right here, not gonna lie. So we'll see if that breaks through. Very interesting to follow, again, from the higher time frames. A little bit more clarity for me, but yeah, looks decent. Just a very strange chart, I'm not gonna lie. Over to CleanSpark, CLSK. Another weird one, but you know, breaking out of this downtrend line, got to clear some resistance up here at all the way up at like $50. So I don't know. I would think it kind of consolidates a little bit. Could certainly move up above its moving average. Oh, thick cloud though, thick red cloud, which is worrisome. But we've seen stocks like these break right through it. But I would just kind of, again, something to note on the bigger time frames. Riot I like because it has a little bit more data, and I've thrown this bowl on it. I think this kind of gives me, I think, an accurate picture of the miners. You know, we're underneath the 3-year moving average, and we're underneath the cloud. And this is what I would kind of predict would happen to the miners is we kind of just kind of consolidate, and then we kind of break up and follow this bull upwards, right? But that's not until the late 20s, early 30s where we would see that. You know, not perfect, but interesting to keep in mind. It's still below resistance here. A lot of resistance to break through this base. So we'll see what happens. But again, good to kind of think a little bit bigger picture. What could happen? We'll see what happens. But I think this needs to base out a little bit more. Lastly, Bitfarms, threw this one up there because it's another one of the popular miners. You know, there's a rising wedge here. It broke down at the top, and now it's kind of looks like this is another wedge that's coming into play, but we'll see if this holds or not. Yeah, ultimately there's resistance up at 780, so I would imagine this kind of just continues to base out, and then we'll see. But that's my review of the cryptos, guys. Love it or hate it, I think these lines they mean something. Well, we're gonna see if they mean something, right? But feel free to drop a like, give me some comments, let me know what you guys are thinking, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, peace.